Hey everybody, this is Team 3 for MEGR 3171, and I am Jameson.
My name is Harrison.
And I'm Kenneth, and our project's title is iRockPaperScissors, a particle argon game. So the components we used for our project include a red LED, a keypad, and a 220 ohm resistor, as well as our particle argon chip. As for software we used the coding site as well as the console. For the particle argon, we used If This Then That, and we also used Google Sheets to track our data. Ultimately, we had some issues with the Google Sheets because when we developed our If This Then That applets, it decided to create secondary Google Sheets that weren't directly linked to the ones that we were hoping to have combined. So we each, strangely on our own accord, we found the import range function, which allowed us to transmit the data from our own personally generated data into the common, what we call the common Google Sheet for the project.
Okay, so I'm quickly going to show the circuit for this project. I'm first going to explain each pin and what each pin is connected to. So we'll first take a look directly at the particle argon itself, and you'll notice that I have 8 pins D1 through D8 used for this project. These pins are directly connected to the keypad. So it goes from the keypad all the way down to pins D1 through D8, and they're all directly connected to the keypad itself. And some other components that you'll notice is the LED, a resistor, and a couple other wires, and of course we have the Wi-Fi antenna that is used for this project to connect to the internet. So I'll first take you through the pins D1 through D8, and those, as I said earlier, were connected to the keypad. Then for this circuit that we have a positive connection connected to the 3.3 volt output of the particle argon, and ground output of the particle argon is connected on the negative side here, and the positive side for the 3.3 volts connected on the positive of the other side of the breadboard. So now that we know where our power is coming from, when this of course is plugged in, and this can be plugged in to any USB power source. So when you have a USB cable, you can plug that into your computer or a power bank or even a wall outlet. Just make sure that you are plugging it in to make this circuit work. So we'll take a first look at the LED itself, and that LED is connected to our positive end, and that goes to a wire, and this wire goes straight to pin D9. Now you could use this on any particular digital pin. It doesn't really matter which one you use, but we chose D9 in our project, and that's referenced in our code. That links straight in series with a 220 ohm resistor that goes straight to your negative side. So that basically is the circuit. I'll do a quick review one more time. We've got pins D1 through D8 connected to the keypad. Pin D9 is connected to the LED, which is connected to positive. The resistor is in series, and it connects to the ground, and that pretty much wraps it up.
For now, we're just going to go to the keypad game Google Sheet, which is our combined Google Sheet between me, Harrison, and Kenneth. This is where you'll see, most importantly, the total number of wins. Cells that we're going to focus on today are the total number of win cells. So these 3 cells right here. Those cells, we kind of get those to combine in our personal spreadsheets right here. It'll total up the total number of wins for each player, and it'll take that number and it'll input it here into this cell, and it'll update the number of wins, the total number of wins for all players, which will then flash the LED on our circuit board, indicating that the number of wins has changed. Now, the only thing is, if there's a tie here in the win conditions, our LED won't flash because the total number of wins stays the same. It stays at 0. Next, I'm going to show you the applets that we use for If This Then That. The first applet that was created was the key pressed event, which is what I call it, which just connects our keypad to our Google Sheet. Now, we did have a problem with if this and that, and we just wanted if this and that to take the key press from our keypad and paste it into our own specific cells here. But for some reason, it was creating its own Google Sheet. So we decided to just change the name of the Google Sheet that it was creating and use this import range function to get our Google Sheets to combine and place that data in these Google cells. Our next applet is the if cell updated in supposed to say Google Sheet, then call the LED function. This is the applet that we use to make the LED flash. This connects the Google Sheet, our combined Google Sheet here, to our particle. I'm going to show you how all of that works. I'm actually going to type in a number on my keypad, and I'm going to get that number to display here in my entries, and then I'm going to get it display here also in the combined Google Sheet line of entries. I'm going to put in the number 6, so it's going to say that me and Harrison wins, and it's going to display that in the leaderboard here. You're going to see a graphical representation of it. You'll see it on me and Harrison's total number of wins here and here, and then you'll see the total number of wins over here changes as well. Then it's going to total up the number of wins, and it's going to put it here in our personal spreadsheet, and then our LED will flash. So I'm going to type in the number 6, and I'm going to go to my console so you guys can see that I pressed the number 6. And as you can see, key press Jamison 6 does pop up. Now we just wait for it to display here, and once it displays here, it will come from this cell with the import range function that we use, and it will also display in my entry, in my line of entries here. So as you can see, the number popped up here, and what happened was you also saw the number change up here a little bit later. So I'm going to explain what happened. So the number that I pressed was 6, so it popped up here, and that number was also still 0. So that import range function sent the number here in my line of entries, and it updated the number of wins for me and Harrison, and it shows up in the leaderboard here, the graphical representation of it, and then it also shows up in the total number of wins here. And then what happened was this cell totaled up the number of wins, and it changed that 0 from a 2 just because me and Harrison also win, so the total number of wins is 2. So it changes that number from a 0 to 2, and that lets my LED flash. So I'm also going to time lapse that part. It's going to take like about a minute for the LED to flash, so yeah. So as you guys can see, the LED did flash. So that concludes the functionality portion of our iRockPaperScissors keypad game.
Thank you for everyone following along, and if you have any other questions about our project, then you can check out our Hackster.io page, where you'll find a diagram of our circuit, the backstory of our project, and any other questions and videos and pictures. You might find that on our Hackster.io page, so check it out.
And you can also stay tuned to our YouTube page, where we'll also be posting a couple more tournament videos and some more upcoming video footage for our project. So please stay tuned for that as well.
Thanks for watching, guys. Definitely subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.